If you're choosing breast implants after mastectomy and nobody has explained to you what implant profile actually means for how you look in a sweater, this video is for you. Because there are 4 decisions you're going to be asked to make, and most women walk into those conversations not knowing what the choices even are, let alone what they actually mean when you pull a tank top over your head this summer or stand in front of the mirror trying on bras that don't fit the body that you have now. By the end of this video, you are going to know the 4 questions to ask your surgeon that most women never know to ask. Welcome back to Becoming Beautifully Built. I'm Wendy, breast cancer survivor, 6 years out from my own double mastectomy with implant reconstruction, and an oncology nurse of 25 plus years. Before we go further, I want to remind you of something important. In most cases, mastectomy is not an emergency. You have more time than you may feel right now. Time to breathe, time to ask questions, time to understand your options. Choosing your implants, the type, the shape, the profile, the placement, these are decisions you deserve to make as an informed participant in your own care. Here are the 4 decisions nobody really walks you through before you're sitting in that consult room. First, implant profile, low, moderate, or high. Second, placement, under the muscle or over the muscle. Third, the implant itself, saline, silicone, smooth, textured, round, anatomical. And fourth, size, which is about so much more than just picking a cup size. Each one of these decisions changes something about your body. Let's start with profile, because this is the one that surprised me the most. Low, moderate, or high. These words sound like they describe how high up on your chest the implant sits. That is not the case. Profile is about projection, how far the implant comes out from your chest wall. A low profile implant is wider and flatter. And here's what I want you to understand. Because you don't have natural breast tissue anymore, so a low profile implant can leave you looking very flat across the chest. When you put on a sweater, there's not a lot of forward shape. It can feel, and I'm really just going to say it, pancakey. A moderate profile gives you more projection than a low profile, but it also spreads wider. And this matters. I've had women tell me that their moderate profile implants make their breasts feel wide, extending under the arm, which changes how a tank top sits, where the armhole falls, and whether you feel comfortable even raising your arms. A high profile implant, and I want to be honest here because these are what I have. For me, after my double mastectomy, this made sense because there's no natural breast tissue left to create a shape. So the implant has to do all the work. But here's what nobody told me. A high profile implant changes how clothes fit you. The sweater that used to drape a certain way now pulls across the chest. A tank top in the summer, suddenly you're aware of projection in a way that you weren't before. And bras. Finding a bra that fits a high profile under the muscle implant that gives you shape with support and without padding and digging in, that's an entirely different conversation. I spent months and hundreds of dollars trying to find something that worked for my body. That's not a reason not to choose high profile implants if that is what is right for you. And I'm not sorry that I chose high profile implants, but it's information you deserve to have before you decide. This is where I need to slow you down because a lot of women in this position think, I'll just tell my surgeon to make me look natural. And your surgeon, who's extraordinary at what they do, will do their best. But natural means something different when there's no breast tissue there to shape the implant. Knowing the medical information and knowing what it means for your body, your life, and your decisions, those are 2 very different things. The second decision is placement, under the muscle or over the muscle. My implants are partially under the muscle to give the implants a more natural appearance. Here's what that actually means. When the implant goes under the pectoral muscle, the muscle provides an extra layer of coverage between the implant and the skin. This can create a more natural slope of the top of the breast, and for women with thin skin after mastectomy, it reduces the risk of being able to see the outline or rippling of the implant. But I want to be honest with you. Under the muscle also means the muscle moves with the implant. When you flex your arm, when you do yoga, When you lay flat or when you reach for something, the implant can shift. It's not painful for most women after healing, but it is noticeable. I still think about this when choosing bras, everyday bras, sports bras, and clothing, even 6 years later. Over the muscle or prepectoral placement means the implant sits on top of the muscle, directly under the skin. Recovery can be a bit easier for some women because the muscle isn't disturbed, but the implant may be a little bit more visible and there's less natural tissue to soften those edges. Neither is wrong. Neither choice is wrong. But what matters is understanding what each one means for your body, your activity level, and your comfort. Ask your plastic surgeon what they recommend for your specific anatomy, and then ask why. Now I need to talk about something serious, and I want you to hear it from someone who is both an oncology nurse and a survivor. There are different types of implants. Saline, filled with sterile water, silicone, filled with a cohesive silicone gel that many women say feel more like a natural breast, round or anatomical, sometimes called teardrop shaped, smooth or textured, referring to the outer shell of the implant. Most implants used in reconstruction today are smooth, round silicone implants. And that's for a reason. Textured implants, which were designed to help the implant stay in place and reduce the risk of capsular contracture, have been linked to a rare type of lymphoma called breast implant-associated anaplastic large cell lymphoma. It is not breast cancer. It is a cancer of the immune system that develops in the scar tissue around that implant. It's rare, but it's real. And I'm not telling you this to scare you, but you deserve to walk into your consult knowing what questions to ask. The FDA has resources on this. Your plastic surgeon should be able to tell you exactly what type of implant they use and why. If they brush past that question, then that's information too. Most surgeons today primarily use smooth implants, but you're allowed to ask about every option available to you. None of this is a reason not to choose implant reconstruction, if that's the right path for you. Millions of women live full, healthy lives with breast implants, and I'm one of them. But it is information you deserve to have before you decide. The fourth decision is size, and this is where so many women get stuck. Your surgeon is going to ask you what size you want to be. And you may be tempted to say what bra size you used to be or what you wish you'd always been, but implant size is not bra size. It's measured in cubic centimeters or cc's. And the same cc implant will look completely different on a woman who is 5'2" with a narrow frame versus a woman who's 5'9" with broad shoulders. Your surgeon will likely use sizers during your consult, or you may try on implant sizers in a bra to get a visual. This is not vanity. This is you trying to understand what your body is going to look like and feel like after a surgery that changes you permanently. Take your time with this. Bring photos in. That may help. This is your body. I want to say something that almost no one says out loud. Just because you have implants does not mean you don't need a bra. I have high-profile implants under the muscle, and let me tell you, I still need a bra. Not for volume, but for shape and support, for the way a good bra pulls everything together and makes you feel like myself in my clothes. After my reconstruction, finding bras became one of the hardest parts of my recovery that I did not expect. Here's what I learned the hard way. I cannot wear a band-type bra or a sports bra. The band rides up under my implants and it hurts. Implants are heavy and they need support no matter what you're doing, whether you're at work, at yoga, or just walking through the grocery store. A wide underband that won't stay in place is useless to me. And so many bras today have that, especially sports bras. No adjustable straps or straps that don't adjust enough, and a band that rides up and sits right under the implant, that's not support, that's pain. For me, underwire works. I know that is not what every woman wants to hear, and it may not be right for every woman, but underwire stays where I put it. It gives my implants the support they actually need, and that is what matters to me. Mastectomy bras are great for post-op days and if you're wearing a prosthetic, but for everyday life and The search is very different. There are brands. Notori was a brand that I found worked for me. Their understanding of how to shape and support an implant reconstructed body is what is critical when shopping for the right bra and the right brand. But nobody handed me that list. I had to find it myself, bra by fitting room. And then there's the question of going without a bra entirely when nobody prepares you for that either. Here's something I learned the hard way. Thin bras show everything. And if you're like me and you don't need extra padding and you have had nipple-sparing mastectomy, your implants already give you the volume, but you also don't want the world to see your nipples through your shirt. There's a solution. Cake nipple covers, I cannot live without them. I wear them even with bras because a thin, comfortable bra doesn't hide what's happening underneath. And I don't need more padding, just coverage. Cake covers give me that. They're a staple in my drawer year-round. Now, if you want to go truly braless, and in the summer, in a tank top, in a bathing suit, there's something else I want you to know about. It's called noosh. It gives my implants a gentle lift without straps or underwire. I truly wear mine every day, now that the weather is warm. I've worn it with bathing suits. It gives me that little bit of lift and support that makes me feel confident without straps, without underwire, without anything digging in. These are the things that nobody tells you. Not your surgeon, not your nurse. They're busy saving your life and doing beautiful reconstruction work. But the day-to-day of living in your new body, the bras, the nipple covers, the little lift that gets you through a hot summer day, feeling like yourself, that's what I needed someone to tell me. I started becoming beautifully built because of this, because the guide I needed didn't exist. Before we wrap up the 4 decisions, I want to say something about body image, because this part of the conversation does not happen enough. When you look in the mirror after reconstruction, you are not just looking at the result of a surgery. You're looking at the body that carried you through cancer. That is a lot to hold. Some women feel grateful. Some women feel grief. Most of us feel both. I have days where I look at my body and I feel strong. I have days where I still wonder what I would look like if none of this had ever happened. And okay, that's really okay. You don't have to love everything about your reconstructed body to accept it as yours. And you don't have to figure that out alone. Let me leave you with 4 questions to ask your surgeon. 1, what profile do you recommend for my body type? And can you show me some examples of what that projection looks like on someone with my frame? 2, are you placing the implant under or over the muscle? What do you feel is the best for my body type? 3, what type of implant are you going to use? Round or anatomical, smooth or textured? And what should I know about long-term monitoring? And 4, how do we decide on size together? And can I try sizers before the surgery so I can understand what this actually looks like on my body? Your surgical team is extraordinary at what they do. This video is not about second-guessing their expertise. It is about making sure you walk into your appointment as an informed participant in your own care. You found your way here, and whether you are in this journey just beginning, whether you just got your diagnosis, or you're already scheduling consults, I'm so glad you're here. You don't have to have it all figured out. I'm here to walk beside you through every question, every decision, every step of the road ahead. If this was helpful, please subscribe. I will be here every week with honest conversations about everything that surrounds the mastectomy and reconstruction journey. I'll see you in the next video.